Yeah.
The
2 seconds.
advertisements running through with the
Okay.
next race
Right,
round.
I am in the league now.
Yeah. Sounds good.
It's at 7:00.
Hello, everyone. I am your producer and host here, Torre, also known as Khalid Ramadan, also known as, well, Torre Khalid Ramadan, SimSpecMedia, running out of names here. Either way, welcome to our third round here at Snetterton, returning to the heat format we've had in the opening round of the season, and pretty much coming up to the halfway point by the end of this race. So, not too far removed from qualifying, and as you can already see from a lot of these scenic shots here on track, there's a lot of puddles in and around the track with even more rain inbound. So a lot can happen here. And let's see if we can get up some data for everyone here. This is part of a very packed weekend / race week on SimSpec, the PSRL round here, which will be followed by a duo race broadcast of the 1-to-1 series as well as the Samsung GT3 finale, rounding it off with the GRL Jetta Championship on Monday. We've got some penalty points that are continuing on from the previous rounds. Not fully up to date with the findings from Spa, but I'm not aware of any bans for qualifying. So hopefully it should be a full grid of action coming up. And speaking of action, there will be some rain inbound. So the rain should start towards the tail end of qualifying, and then some rather dank rain for pretty much most, if not all, of the first heat, before we consider what will be in store later on in the race. And it's probably a good time as any to let them introduce themselves. Joining me on lead comms is Maximilian Ring, as you can see on the broadcast, as we've got Harry Shaw just going off on the side of shot. And also joining us, and probably can introduce himself first, we've got Soul joining as co-comms. So welcome, and introduce yourself to the crowd.
Hello, and thank you very much for having me join in with you guys. I come in at a time of need, and the time of need wasn't needed, but I'm still here. We're going to sit it out, and we're going to have an absolutely incredible night of racing.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming on. There was a bit of a sketchy period where it wasn't looking like I was going to be here, but both of us made it, so we'll run it as a duo and let Khaled focus on the magic broadcasting and camera work that he does so well.
Indeed, and we're definitely in for an incredible night of racing and very interesting, especially with the weather that we got coming tonight.
Yeah, and we'll be starting up with... Sorry? That's fine. Yeah, we're starting up with qualifying here, obviously. Pro-Ams first, followed by the pros going out on track. We'll see how they do. We'll have a quick look at how practice went with, yeah, the usual kind of stuff. No, we've got actually a really good divide here. So we've got Gabriel, Kyle, and Harry taking 1, 2, and 3 in practice, and then we've got some pro-ams splitting up the pros. So Jensen and Justin, they're in P4 and 5, and then we go down to Seb Brown, Billy Wright, Thomas Dreyer for pros, and then it's the rest of the pro-am field, which is Olivia, Stefan, Freddie, and Andre. Seems like a bit of a smaller field today, so maybe there'll be some interesting kind of packy racing rather than long spread out line. Have you raced this track yourself before? So
I can't say that I have, if I'm quite honest. I've definitely watched a lot of two-wheel racing itself around here, and can also say that the actual track itself is very interesting, very fast, very tight, and also incredibly technical.
Yeah, it does seem like a bit more of a tight track rather than many overtaking opportunities, as we watch on board here with Gabriel just coming down. Let's see where he is. Trying to set up everything. Just coming down the front straight here. So it's an interesting track layout with almost, well, some of it looks a bit like an oval, but then it doesn't. And then you've got 2 massive straights and then almost like an infield section with a lot of hairpins. So it'll be some interesting to see who can outbrake who during this event.
No, of course, for sure. And some of these, some of the hairpins that we've got the one hairpin, we've got Montreal, and then we come into Nelson. We also got Murray's, we've got Oggy's. That's just naming a few of the tighter corners. So especially when the weather comes in, we could definitely see, hopefully, some very good passes. But the judgment from the weather and the earlier braking, how much of a difference is that going to make today?
Yeah, for sure. It'll be a first race with rain. And I've just noticed, I don't think anyone told Gabriel that it's just the pro-ams that are meant to be out in qualifying, because he's running on track. So let me send him a quick message before he gets into bother. I think he's a new addition to the field.
Whoops. It happens to the best of us.
Yeah, for sure. I've sent him a quick message, so hopefully he's aware of that. As we are started to get any times in yet. I think we have. So Jensen, no, they're just warming up on the first lap, but we should be getting some times rather soonish here. Where are we at, Jensen? Where are you? Ah, he's coming back towards the back straight, kind of lost everything on my screen. Yeah, towards Williams, and then onto that nice long back straight. Now I think there's 2 configs for this track. One, or where you can have the start. Am I mistaken here? Yeah, I'm talking rubbish. I'm absolutely talking rubbish. Just ignore that. Yeah, coming into the last little bit here, Nelson, Bumhole, and Coram, and then come into that sharp. Murray's, we'll see how he does his first lap time as he comes onto the front straight. Also on the bottom, we can see Olivia just a little bit through the fog. Definitely be interesting to see how that evolves. Obviously, Khaled showed us the weather forecast at the start, and Jensen just coming towards the start finish, and he sets a... What have we got? Nope, no lap time. Not getting lap times.
So with the fog that we've got at the moment, how much of how much of a disadvantage do you reckon people are going to be at? I know we're only in practice at the moment, but surely that the fog itself is going to be playing into the lap times.
Yeah, it might be, especially when you're coming down, those long straights and you're trying to see if there's any traffic up ahead or anything like that. It'll be a bit more difficult. The lights on the cars should make a bit of a difference, but I think the main problem will be the rain. Obviously, iRacing's rain is quite visual if anyone's ever, raced in it. It's it can get quite heavy on the windscreen and on the track, so it'll be quite difficult towards the end of the race when the rain comes in, and then the second race I think we're back to dry, but it'll be the spray as well. That'll be causing a lot of visibility issues, and we'll see how this field of drivers will be able to handle these conditions, as we've not seen them race in any sort of wet conditions, just pretty much perfect and foggy, nothing wet yet. See if there's any strategy plays with wet tires as well. Obviously all the drivers are able to see the forecast. If someone will come in, just try and gamble it before the rain actually hits, or if people will miss the chance or get unfortunate pit stops where they've just pitted and then the rain kicks in. So it'll be interesting to see how they plan their strategy around that. Obviously, some might have an advantage if they have spotters and crew chiefs with them. I know the Jensen brothers, who I don't think are here today. No, they're not. They always come with a full crew of spotter, crew chief, while some other teams might not have that ability and might have to manage their own tyres, have to change their tyres through the black box menu. And obviously that's quite difficult when you're racing. As we've come the first couple of laps here, Jensen setting a 148, Olivia with 152s, Andre with a 152 as well, Freddie Carter setting a 155.1. So it looks like Jensen is quite ahead of the pace on the field here. I mean, that's nearly 4 seconds, 3.5 seconds faster than Olivia. We'll see if she is able to, she or any of the other ones, Andre, Freddie, Justin or Stefan, if they can get that lap time back. I know Stefan was quite quick last week in practice, I believe. And speaking of Olivia, she definitely wants these points. I mean, at the moment, she's 3rd overall and 1st in Pro-Am, with the the Andrews brothers missing out this week. If she has a good points day, she could easily win to the top of the scoreboard here. And we'll see how she does.
Yes, most definitely. Well, let's just hope that she can play the right game with the pit strategies. Hopefully it will aid her in getting as many points as she can get.
Definitely. As we see who's coming to the line here. I think that's Stefan coming to the line here. Oh, yeah, Jensen on the top. Perfect. Just trying to see. Stefan's had a lap time yet? No, he's not. I think he's having some otherwise lap. Olivia is quite flash happy usually. Have a quick look. Where's me?
We've just had Justin come in with a lap time 1:51.385 as well. Oh, and we've just Olivia beat that with a 1:59.39.
Just catching up to that, which is good. Obviously, she still has about 2.9 seconds to make up. However, 50 is a lot better than 52. We're still waiting for lap times from Stefan. I don't really know why his lap times aren't counting, because he's not had any incidents yet. So we'll see if the next one comes through. We're watching him here now in that orange and white Mercedes making his turnaround. It's weird. His last one, it did show as a 53, but it's not coming up on the best. But then he also doesn't have any incidents, so not sure what's going on there. Whether he could be getting like the slowdowns where it doesn't count as an incident, but it's still sort of, I don't really understand.
I think it still won't count the lap, unfortunately. I don't think. And just catching the curb like that as well. Don't forget with iRacing, if you catch it a little bit too much, unfortunately, it does invalidate your lap, and it catches me out quite a lot as well.
Oh yeah, all the time. GT3 qualifying, I'm terrible for it. The amount of times I've set down an amazing lap time and then, whoops, we go off. As we can see a bit of wet on the track already. Has the rain started here? I think the rain started. I don't know if we can get... Oh, is it still wet? It's still wet from previously. I see. The rain had already been, and we're still in a wet condition track, which at the moment only Freddie... Oh, we are raining now. And the only one on wet tyres is Freddie at the moment. So Freddie has been setting the slowest lap times out of the Pro-Am field. However, he is the only one on wet. As we see Justin set a 1:49, and Stefan finally set a time as well, a 1:59, 1:50 and 9. And Olivia back to P2 with a 1:49.45.
Olivia has knocked 3 seconds off her time.
3 seconds.
We're only 10 minutes into qualifying. Into practice, sorry.
Well, they only get 10 minutes of qualifying each. So we've got 10 minutes for the Pro-Ams, as we'll see the pros come out now. So the Pro-Ams should be coming into the pit road anytime now. Now, Olivia, with her last lap there, beat Justin for P2 by 0.03 seconds. He's going to be raging about that. But it's good to see that Justin is kind of Olivia is getting closer to Jensen lap times here, as we want some tight racing up the front. And we'll have a look at the pros. I believe all of the pros at the moment are on dry tyres. Let's have a look. They are indeed. So,
well, we'll see how that goes on. As we can see there from the camera shot, we've got a little bit of moist rain right now. So, how are they going to take to keeping the slicks on? Who do you reckon is going to be the first one to come in for wets, and who do you reckon is going to keep it on track with the dries on?
I don't know. I think Billy, I could see him coming in. He's quite we've seen some interesting strategies from him. I don't know about the rest of them. It's certainly, as they're making their way down the back stretch, we'll see when they come around the big kind of loop at the end of the track to see who comes into pit road and who doesn't. And then obviously anyone making any mistakes coming onto pit road, is there going to be spins, crashes? That'll be an interesting one now that the track is getting moist and we're starting to see puddles starting to form on the sides of the tracks.
Most definitely. Just look at the rain coming down now.
Yeah, it's properly starting to rain now. I've got some onboard footage here, Billy. You can see those paddles, and especially the painted areas, they will be dodgy. Stay off the paint. And I don't know if that's a warning on Billy's dash here that something's low.
Looks like an oil low.
Oil load. Well, we certainly hope his oil isn't low. Oh, and
Billy's off
the track. Yep, there we go. That's those dry tires, as none of them have taken wet tires, which is quite unbelievable. That will certainly mess with their lap times, and if they keep staying out like this, we might have a situation where the Pro-Am field will line up in front of the Pro field, which would you
imagine that?
Everyone's going off.
One off in the background, two off in the background.
I think we'll see. I think we'll see some pits now as Seb Brown, as well as who's that behind him? Gabriel, is that him coming off as well? Yeah, and then Kyle managed to keep it on track. Yeah, they're be interesting now.
So as we see this pack coming round, hopefully we see some people coming in now to the pits, and that way, we can get the tyres sorted and try and save these cars as much as we can.
For sure. I mean, the rain is kind of fully over the track, and I'm just looking at the radar now. It's well and truly there, and it's only looking to get heavier. A big kind of front approaching.
Most definitely, even the spray is kicking up at the moment. It's definitely not ideal.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult for these guys. We'll see if they come in. Obviously, changing to tires shouldn't take too much time out of their lap times, and I am very surprised that none of these people started on wets. Freddie seems to be the only one that had some insight, as we see a bit of pushing here going on, a bit of bump drafting from. Oh God!
And he's off onto the grass.
Well, he goes off again. Not ideal. He was getting pushed there, and then I think he was carrying a bit too much speed. Let's have a look. I think the 37 and the 5 are in. Yeah, I think everyone is coming into pit road here. No, not everyone. Seb is just balls to the wall. He's sticking with the dry tires, and he's gonna try and make it stick here. We've had.
Hopefully he can make it round as long as he stays off the painted surfaces and tries to avoid the puddles.
Absolutely.
He should be able to put a lap time. Whether or not it's obviously going to be the fastest is a very, very, very different question. But as long as he can keep it straight and pointed where he wants to go, hopefully we can get him round. Hopefully he'll pull in, but we shall see. He might chance it. He might chance it on the slick still.
And a very big consideration as well, if I might hop in here. There's only 5 minutes left to go, so the rest of the field in Pro just now left the pits. So they're going to have to do another out lap and then a hot lap. So they might only get one bite of the apple here. So if he keeps it on track here, he'll be the first one to actually set a valid time. So
yeah.
Well,
you've cursed. You've given him the broadcaster's curse, and he goes off track into the barrier
right there.
And That'll be that for him. He'll probably come into the pits now and will look to everyone else to set a time. I mean,
Let's get a replay
their
here.
previous times were 240s and 248s, which was not ideal. Oh God, he just loses it.
Snatched the brake too hard, I think, as well.
Look at that.
To be fair, I was doing some
Damage on that
practice. Yeah, I was doing some practice yesterday of Le Mans, and I forgot to put the wet tires on the wet conditions, and it just, you can turn, but nothing happens. You're just going straight, and same kind of thing here. The cars get so sketchy, the rear is so easy to kick out. So we'll see how the rest of the pack gets on here. As you can see them trying their absolute best to warm the tires, which is incredibly hard in wet conditions because, if anything, the water is cooling down your tires, which is, well, just a nightmare, to be honest. We'll see if Billy can get around here without either getting pushed, shoved, spun, bump drafted, whatever happened there. And we'll think the first one across the line will be Seb. Nope, sorry, not Seb. Billy. Seb's coming into the pits just now.
He should be able to get at least one solid lap time in. Maybe 2.
Yeah, I mean, we've got 3 minutes left. We're looking at about 2 minutes per lap. So, I don't think Seb will be able to set a lap time here, to be honest. He'll have about a 20-second pit stop. And yeah, I think that's Seb at the bottom of the table for sure. Oh, as Billy goes off again. And that'll be his lap invalidated.
As well.
Yep, so he'll know. He might. No, I don't think I'll have another chance.
It just goes to show how incredibly treacherous these conditions are out on track at the moment.
Yeah, and you've got a bit of a. I don't know if this is a bit of an unfair advantage. The Pro-Ams, obviously, they were mostly dry, and now the pros have got to fight the rain. We'll see how that impacts the field. We might genuinely have the Pro-Am start in front because they just got the luck of the draw and they got to go first, while the pros have to fight their way through.
Yes, indeed. And at the moment, I believe we have got Billy at the top of the pro list, is it?
At the moment, we don't have any times yet. So
we don't.
Yeah, pro pole by the. It's not ideal.
Puddles on track.
Yeah, that's a proper. There we go. We can see the weather radar here. At the moment, we're just, when it stays stationary, that yellow bit. So as you can see, the red will come over and get worse and worse and worse. When we started qualify, we were in the kind of green Turkish area, and it's now evolving more and more into what could be described as a monsoon.
At the moment, we've got typical British weather. That's what I could say, and especially for Snetterton, being so far up north, it's quite typical, if I'm quite honest.
Up north?
It is. I'm very much far south, you know. Snetterton's on your doorstep, or quite close to you, I believe.
I don't actually know where Snetterton is geographically, to be honest. But whenever people say up north and it's not in Scotland, it makes me laugh. The only racetrack that I'm concerned is up north is Knockhill, which sadly we won't feature in our series this season, but we might in the future because it's a lovely track.
No, I correct myself. I do apologise. It's in Norwich. I was thinking of Knockhill.
Yeah, Knockhill is Scotland.
A very interesting track.
Knockhill is very technical and very good to race, especially in the rain. And we've got some times here. So Kyle's setting down a 2:04, followed by Gabriel and Thomas with a 2:04 and 2:09. So we will have the Pro-Am field starting ahead of the Pro field, as we've just got 2 seconds left of this session, I believe. Oh,
big one, big one.
Yeah, that was not ideal.
Hopefully we can see if we can get a replay. We shall try our best.
Oh, he just doesn't use the brake pedals. Yeah. Oh well, it was the end of the session. I'm sure Billy won't be too pleased. Let's see who decides to put on wet tires here or who forgets, because if someone doesn't, then it'll be an interesting start.
Oh, most definitely a very, very interesting start. And let's just hope, fingers crossed, toes crossed, everything crossed, that people have put wets on, because you're definitely going to need them, especially with all that standing water out on track currently.
Yeah, so far everyone has, from what I can see. We can run through the field here. Jensen, as I said, it is the Pro-Ams who are up front, and Jensen will be leading that next to Olivia. Jensen, that Ferrari 296, and Olivia in the Corvette Z06. And we've got Justin and... yeah, Olivia's currently still lining up to the field, probably making sure she's got wet tires on. It's either that or her internet has decided to jump out a window. No, that's not her.
And we're also waiting for Kyle Felvis as well.
Olivia is in that beautiful Scottish Amber livery. We've got Justin and Stefan both in the GT3s behind them. Teammates, I believe, by the look of those liveries, most certainly. We've got the BMW of Andre and the Porsche of Freddie behind. Now, one thing I'm noticing, I think our decals aren't loading. Khaled, if you can... We'll have to excuse us for not having our lovely decals from last week, but we'll make do without them. Kyle and Gabriel are the pros behind them in the GT3 Mustang and the GT3 BMW. Some more BMWs this week, which is very exciting for me as a BMW fan. Thomas Dyer in the 911 and Harry in the Hurricane behind them. And up the rear, we've got Seb Brown and Billy Wright, who's deciding to reverse away from the field and just go backwards. See, some of them have got... yeah, I think the pros have got the Pro-Am. Well, just everyone ignore the colours on the cars. We'll fix that for next week, and we'll keep going here as we have half a formation lap. It's not a full one. We're just starting on the back straight, and everyone is indeed on wet tyres. I can confirm we have a full field of wets. So hopefully there will be no major incidents. And now I've said that, I'm sure we'll get a...
hopefully we can see all four wheels on track.
Yeah. We're seeing attempts to warm the tyres here, which again, very difficult to do. So we'll see how they get on. Hopefully no one will spin themselves out while doing so, which I'm sure everyone who has ever done iRacing has done. I remember a race where the leader actually threw themselves into the pit wall before the start, which was interesting. But I'm sure we'll see nothing like that in this series, as everyone is quite, I would say, smart about their driving. As we've just see the field, we've got the Pro field on the bottom and the Pro-Am field at the top. As they come towards the start-finish line, pace car is in, and we are going green now. There we go. We've got the start of the race as we see them come into turn one down towards Riches. Can't really see much because of the spray, but rest assured that they are still on track. Most of them anyway. Two off track, yeah. I think that's Freddie. Oh, God. Yeah, so that's Freddie and Stefan who have come off the track there, as Jensen remains in the lead.
Brief exit off the track as well.
Yeah, I think she might have touched two tyres onto the grass. As we see a battle up there between Justin and... who else is that? Gabriel? Kyle? Kyle, yeah, Justin and Kyle. We've got some of the pros immediately shooting up through the Pro-Ams. Kyle and Gabriel moving up towards Jensen, trying to take the overall lead. Oh, Kyle. Oh, Olivia's
we've got a big one.
Off a lot. Yeah, I think Olivia just ended up far in the grass, which will be devastating for her, but she manages to save it, holds on the brake and doesn't go on the barrier, which is the main thing, because there'll be no damage to her. Obviously we'll replay all of this later as we're watching some very tight action as, oh God, Seb goes into Billy, and Billy loses a bumper early on in the race yet again. I think... yeah,
I think it's safe to say that we are struggling at the moment with heating tyres, especially with how wet it is and how cold it'll be.
Yeah, there's a lot of struggling going on here. This is the third week in a row where Billy has been taken out early on as Kyle goes off track. Oh, and the leaders.
3 off.
Oh my God. The whole of the top 4 goes off as Gabriel goes through to the lead, followed by Seb and then Justin. They're back on track. Not too much contact there. This is turning out to be some, well, almost NASCAR style racing, except for we don't get any caution, so people just have to kind of crack on with it and sort themselves out. As we watch Jensen, who's now in P3, and oh, there's someone else off at the top. That's Freddie, who's just Tokyo drifting along the side of the track, trying to do some interesting driving here. I think he should probably just let that through, because is Freddie a lap down already? I'm not even sure. No. So that's for position. So that's Stefan behind him, is it? Yes, so it'll be Stefan.
Definitely said we're going to have some very exciting and interesting racing, didn't we? We definitely said that this rain is going to cause some chaos, and currently it most definitely is.
Chaos is a good way to describe this. I think Jensen might just be taking it a bit easy here, running a little bit wide and then up in the dirt a little bit, which you don't want. Again, in this kind of racing in the wet conditions, you don't want to touch the grass. You don't want to touch any paint. You want to run an offline. You don't want to run the normal line that everyone usually runs, because it'll be filled with rubber. Oh, yeah, a bit more.
We've got Freddie and the 69 coming together. Unfortunately, when you go off onto the grass as well, you've got to remember that you'll start to lose the heat that you've just worked into your tyres as well.
100%, as there'll be more standing water in the grass, and it'll be way colder than the asphalt. Well, it won't be much colder because the asphalt's probably stone cold by now, but Gabriel driving a little bit away with the lead here as well. So you watch Thomas Dreyer falling back. He's still losing positions here. He's down to... Oh no, they're battling. Good battle going on between Kyle and Thomas here, to be honest. Not that we can see it because of the spray. There we go. We get a nice shot of them coming down towards the Nelson and corner. They're going to come around this nice big bend, which I think that's where a lot of people went off earlier. This kind of big sweeping Coram bend, as that they're just driving away to drive down there. You can see it kind of where the lead cars are, and you can see the actual name boards. Nice thing is Snetterton, as you can see on the track, they've got little name boards for every corner. But I think these drivers have kind of found their pace now that they need to run at to run safely. I've not seen much sketchiness from these two apart from the start, so we'll see if the field kind of is settled down now, a bit of heat in the tyres, and we can actually get some good racing without incidents, as we see Justin set the fastest lap at a 2:14. I think someone's missed their braking marker. Yeah, I think Kyle was either got a shot here. I don't know if he got a punt from the back, or yeah, we'll have a look at the replay, see what happened there. It was either a missed braking marker or... Oh yeah, he touches the paint and then it's just gone. There we go, as we were saying.
To go nowhere near the white lines in any wet weather at all, whether you're on 2 wheels, 4 wheels. Oh, and we've got another one as well.
Billy's also following along. He might be falling off the map here if he goes any further out. Don't know if that's ever happened to you, where you just kind of disappear off the face of the earth and respawn in the pit road. Definitely don't want that to happen during a race. I
just wanted to talk about Harry Shaw. Do you think that Harry is at a disadvantage being the only Lamborghini in the race compared to the other GT3 cars?
Well, I think it might actually work a bit in your advantage here, having a mid-engine car, mainly for the balance of the weight on each of the tires. I think, especially in the wet, the rear engine cars are going to struggle with the weight over the rear, easily losing it, while the front engine cars might not have enough weight over the rear. So yeah, I don't know if he'll struggle because he's the only Lambo. We've not seen much teamwork from manufacturers so far, even though there is a bit. Oh, as we see someone else come off, I think that's Seb. Was it Seb? No, that would be...
No, but I would like to mention Seb. Seb has managed to half the gap in the past couple of laps. I've just been keeping an eye on him with Gabriel. Oh, we've got a big one.
Justin
We've got a big
goes
spin.
off the track. Yeah, bit of contact between. Who was that from? Didn't quite see.
That will then promote Thomas and then Harry and Andre all the way up. That puts Thomas now into P3, with Harry closely followed in P4 with that Lamborghini we were just talking about.
Yeah, as we see Freddie go around Justin here, just making his way through very easily. I don't know if Justin's got some damage here. He's still flirting too much with that paint there. You could see him just getting unstable, just taking that usual dry line that we're also used to, as we've got some more issues here. Andre and the other BMW would be... yeah, Kyle and Andre coming off the track. And Seb's leading at the moment. Seb's taken all the way to the lead. He's overtaken Gabriel, and as we can... Oh no, they're fighting for it. And Seb's missing his entire front bumper as Gabriel takes back the position and is back out front, coming down towards Hamilton and then making his way towards Oggies and Williams. Very tricky part here, especially around very tight hairpins. A lot of braking needed, which obviously during this rain, if there's any puddles, can be quite sketchy. And all of these drivers just need to make sure that they remember not to run their normal lines. You don't want to be where all that rubber normally is. You want to be nicely away from that, because that turns into ice basically. We'll have a look at some replays here while everything seems to have a little bit settled. Well, I say that as Olivia goes past Justin, who's just gone off track again. Here's a replay of Jensen. Oh no. We're just...
And as promised, once Stefan lets Jensen go by, we can now go back to the replays of the opening lap, just to see how things managed to get on, because I believe he started all the way at the start, the middle of the pro field, right up onto the Pro-Ams. And then Stefan Visser, straight on into Olivia.
Ooh.
Freddie Carter follows him through. I believe that allowed Kyle to go through. And then if you continue on watching here, Gabriel is making inroads as well on Olivia right there. So he managed to continue on just fine. And this is all still on the opening lap. So we had a bunch of people go off here as well. So most of the pros managing to keep it on track just fine. And Kyle was threatening to send something right here. Instead, we had Harry Shaw in the background punting off Olivia again.
She's not going to be happy with all of that.
Absolutely
contact.
not. No.
Rightfully so.
And then we're going to stay with this pack here.
Oh, we've got some pit stops, by the way, while this is replaying.
Yeah. So we've got Andre at the back of the field here. Because we had Seb Brown, rather. So Seb Brown, that's where he lost his... bumper. If you can bring up the replay again. Oh, apologies, this is just after. So this is the big one. This is the big one that we saw. So just fighting to keep it on track, onto the grass, straight into the back of Jensen. Gabriel managed to avoid it. Harry goes off, straight across the racing line. Seb goes through. And managed to rejoin. Jensen rejoined right in front of Freddie.
Some sketchy rejoining going on here.
Yeah.
Definitely some talks to be had with the drivers from the stewards about how to rejoin maybe after this race.
And this was a little bit later. Stefan, see right on the white line.
Oh, yeah, just back comes round.
Almost had it. And then we've had
not good enough.
We had a few more offs as well, but all in due time. We'll go back to live.
Yeah, as we can see, Olivia here fighting past, I believe that is Andre.
Yeah.
As Olivia's made her way back to the top of the Pro-Am field. That you can see just the skill that she's demonstrating here, being spun out not only once, but twice at the start of the race, but she still somehow manages to get back. She touches the paint a little bit there, giving Jensen an opportunity to get maybe side by side here with her on the start-finish straight. She does, as you can see, some more people on the pits. I believe that's the 84 of Gabriel who's just pitted. Also, who's pitted before, it was Stefan. Stefan and Gabriel have both pitted, as you can see. Is that a Baked Beans car? I'm trying to figure this out if this is Baked Beans. Yeah, so that's the Baked Beans BMW. As you can see, I was trying to figure that out for the longest time. Stefan clearly still being stuck in the pits, probably getting some major repairs. It's not ideal for him.
No, of course. He's been in there for 25 seconds already.
Oh yeah, has he come back into the pits? So did he pit?
I'm not too sure.
Yeah, so this is the second time. Yeah, so Stefan came into the pits, left, and he's come back. It'll be interesting to see why that was. So he's... Oh, and that's Kyle. Another spin for the Green Mustang, who was doing...
Oh, that's a shame. They knocked him out P4.
Oh, God. I thought...
P2, sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's come from P2. But, you know, this is anyone's race at the moment. There we go. Just overdrive the corner a little bit. But keeps it off the barrier, which is the important part, and a nice and quick recovery back onto the track here. But it does put him second last in the pro field and P5 overall.
And also a safe rejoin as well.
Yeah, Jensen has gone past Olivia as well, just at the top of the Pro-Am field. Manages to get around her and has put about a 4-second gap between them. We've got a replay coming up of how he just loses it into the corner. I think these drivers will be very happy for the second race not being any rain. I think we've got a lot of struggling going on here. As you can see that.
We said it would be exciting, and we've definitely got an exciting race on our hands.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be an interesting one to try and get some replays cut together, certainly. I think we'll not run out of material. Very opposite from last week, which was a lot of kind of focusing on the same two battles pretty much. Here this week we've got nothing short of to talk about, as we're on board with Harry looking onto Billy here, and we've got a second perspective of this three-way battle. They're still touching too much paint for my opinion, in my opinion anyway. As we can see, Harry just trying to shoot here towards the back bumper of Billy. Obviously this is for P3, 4 and 5. Billy currently being in P3, sorry, 2, 3 and 4. And that Big Beans car being at the front of that. Is it? No.
You can just see the standing water as well on the track currently from this angle. This angle is very good. Gives you a good insight. That was very wide. That was very wide. Very well to save that and keep on track.
I think he was not expecting Billy to move over like that, or might have misjudged the corner, but we can see the pros definitely separating themselves from the Pro-Ams here. However, Jensen has set the fastest lap time. So Jensen, Billy's taking a bit of a rally track here. That'll be a slowdown for him, surely. He manages to get it back on track. We'll see how many positions he gives back up here. I was going to say Jensen set the fastest lap, but then Billy just set a faster lap time at 2:11.100, and Jensen setting a 2:11.9, which is significantly faster than the rest of the Pro-Am field.
Indeed, with Seb's fastest lap at the moment, it's a 2:12.2.
So Jensen being faster than the leader of the pros, but not quite the fastest. Billy got the fastest lap time. Got a fight between Billy and Kyle, that green Mustang, and the orange and black Mercedes AMG, as they make their way towards the Montreal hairpin. And a bit of traffic up front. Who's up? Is that Thomas? Yeah, so a three-way fight going on here. Not even traffic or anything. Just a nice three-way battle as they sort themselves out into a straight line, coming down towards Palmer and then heading towards the Agostini hairpin. See, I like this. Today the corners are all nice pronounced names, unlike last week where they were like French weird names that I couldn't really say. Was it last week? Yeah, last week was Spa. Yeah. And I was trying to... Oh, as we've got someone come off. Yeah, Harry and the Lamborghini taking a bit of a dirt alternative route, shall we call it. Maybe he's taking a dirt oval track. Big move from Kyle into Thomas, sending him a little bit loose, but I think he's purposely slowed down there not to take the position as a way of apologising. No doubt Thomas hopefully not get too much damage for that, but he will not be happy with it if he did. As they make their way down the rear straight towards Brindle and Nelson. See if there's any more moves from Kyle or Billy. As we've got quite tight fight between Justin and Freddie here. Justin running a little bit off track, being very generous with track limits. As they come, where are they at the moment? They're coming down towards Brindle and Nelson as well. And Freddie takes the position from Justin. He goes past and Kyle got past Thomas as well. We've seen a lot of action on track, a lot of overtaking. You'll probably find that the drivers are getting more and more comfortable now as we get through this session. I mean, there's still 21 minutes left, just over halfway. We'll see if Freddie here manages to challenge Andre or potentially even work his way up to Olivia or Jensen. I mean, Freddie's not one that we've seen much at the top of the field for the last couple of races. I think also that Stefan might be... his car's definitely not good because it's still in pit roads. He might be retired. We watch Thomas without a front bumper drive ahead of Billy here. And Kyle goes off and Thomas goes off. Both of them going off and Billy goes through as the two of them just missed the corner. Easy corner to miss there. That was the Agnosti hairpin, very sharp as they make their way down towards Hamilton and Oggies. But that gives Billy 2 free positions and he can try and fight his way up to Seb, though that is an 11-second gap between Seb and Billy. As we look onto Harry, who's trying to catch up to Kyle. He's got about a 5-second gap back, which doesn't look too big, to be honest, but it's something you can definitely see. Maybe it's not a 5-second gap, that's just my timing. No, it's definitely not. It's a 1-second gap, but it was a 5-second gap earlier. As he makes his way down towards the long kind of Coram bend before the start-finish straight. Obviously, Kyle, we've seen a lot of issues with Kyle being fast, but also overdriving a lot of the corners and making silly sort of mistakes when he's able to do better. And we've seen really good racing from him as he disappears from view a little bit. But
yeah,
obviously,
and Kyle's last one was a 2:14 as well. We've just gone to a 2:16, so he's backing off a little bit.
And Harry with a 2:12, so Harry being 4 seconds faster a lap. So I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that's damage slowing him down, or someone else going off, or do you think that's his like mindset? Like he's being more careful.
Yeah, it might be being a bit more tentative, especially with whether not backing off and not holding out at all. It's safe to say it is quite treacherous out on track right now, and visibility is definitely going to be very poor. But with the lap times he's putting in, I can't see any reason at all that he won't be able to catch up.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Harry's more doing lap times of Billy's, and I mean even Seb is slowed down to a 2:14 last lap. So Billy and Harry, the only ones in the 2:12s at the moment, and then the rest kind of field going 2:14s, 2:16s, some of the 2:20s. As we've got a big spread now. Olivia still not able to find the lead of the Pro-Am. She's in second place now. Jensen actually fighting past Thomas Dyer. Whether or not that is because Thomas had an issue or Jensen did an overtake, I'm sure we can probably get a replay of that. I think Billy might be off track. Yes, Jensen. This will be, yeah, an issue from Thomas there. And I think Billy just had an issue as well. Oh, just that didn't even look like he tried to make the corner. Billy looks like the same kind of area actually. Yep. Yeah, we're all just looks like we're just not doing that corner today. That's fine. Yeah, Harry will be using that slowdown penalty to his advantage. I'm sure Billy will be next, as there's only a 5-second gap between Billy and Harry. Yes, Harry. Oh, he nearly loses it, but he manages to save it. And there's god, both of them. It's a very sketchy situation between Kyle and Harry there. Harry now with a black flag, I believe. Oh god, that's from earlier. Is that live? Oh well, there goes Harry. I thought that was an early incident. As we've got Jensen very close on the. How did that happen? Did
replay coming just from Harry now? He must have damage from that. It's gone. Oh, he's on the grass. He must have damage to be sneaking.
Yeah. What's happened? Oh. There we go. Oh god, he just sideways, very loose coming off the corner there. Probably a bit too much gas, as with these kind of rain conditions you do have to do a bit more of a gentle throttle rather than, slamming it out of the corners.
Yeah, you have to be very gentle and very soft.
Well, that's the replay of earlier when this kind of all started. Gets very loose into the corner, and is it this one that he gets unstable over? Oh, there we go. He must have touched something there. It definitely looks like just while driving straight. As we see Kyle slowing down a lot on track. I don't know if he's having any issues with the car, but he's just been overtaken by Jensen. Jensen now into P3 overall. We might get a Pro-Am overall winner here, as Harry is still sitting on a black flag. There might be an incident black flag for Harry here, the first one we've seen so far. He might have to serve a slowdown penalty through the pits. We'll see if he comes in or not. He's approaching pit road, and I believe, yep, that's Harry serving his drive-through penalty. And he's coming from P5, so that's going to hurt him a lot, with Olivia only being 7 seconds back, Freddie being 3 seconds. I think he'll come out probably at the bottom of the field here. Yeah.
So Max, for anyone that doesn't know, what is the penalty? How long is the pit lane penalty, and why do you receive the pit lane penalties, or penalties in general?
So we've got on the series, we've got a 20 incident limit for every race. So at 20, you have to serve a pit lane penalty. Oh god, as Harry absolutely loses it. That will not be good for him. Coming off pit road and immediately in the grass. But
Harry doesn't have much luck at all.
No, I think his race with only 14 minutes, and he still has a black flag, does he? Ah, right. I didn't realize he pitted as well. That's not ideal. So yeah, you're looking probably 15 to 20 seconds to drive through the pit lane at pit lane speed. which I'm not actually sure what the speed limit at Snetterton is, but it'll be somewhere around the 40 to 60 kilometer an hour range, while obviously everyone else on this track on that straight is probably going 4 or 5 times that speed. Maybe not in the rain, but they'll definitely be a lot faster going past, and 15 to 20 seconds serving that is not ideal.
It's a lot of time.
It's a massive loss of time. That's nearly, well, it's nearly quarter of a lap you're losing there. So you'll end up, if you're in P1, you could easily end up all the way to the back if you're not careful. And I think with how many incidents we've seen here, that's not going to be the last black flag we'll see of the race. I'm sure there is others who are close to that limit, and we'll see how that goes, as we've got a new overall best time. Kyle setting a 2:09. Obviously, it's very far off the dry pace we had earlier in qualifying, but that's a good speed here we see back from Kyle, as he seems to have found some speed. Maybe he's back in the right mindset. Something certainly happened that's given him a boost of energy as he looks to challenge Jensen here for P3.
Indeed, we've just had Gabriel also just set the fastest lap time. Gabriel snuck in just before quick lap time, but Kyle obviously just nipped in after him. Gabriel's just come back in with a 2 minute 8 seconds 2:36. So he is definitely on the charge. Hopefully try and get himself back up into the front of the pack.
Yeah, that big beans car is certainly making his way through, and he is approaching Justin, Andre, Freddie, and Olivia, who are a pack of Pro-Am cars. So we'll see if his experience as the Pro car will allow him to make light work of this Pro-Am field, or if they'll be able to show him some sort of fight. He's currently 0.6 seconds back from Justin, and they are just approaching Oggies and then Williams, and then we'll have a nice big straight coming into Brindle and Nelson, which are a good, quite a few good braking zones for him. As he goes for a move on the outside, just coming into Williams, a little bit of off track there, and I think he's got the speed down the straightaway. Something seems to have happened with Andre there, as Andre's come out very slow out of that corner. We can just see Olivia and Freddie at the front there, and there's 3 wide in the wed. Coming down into Brundle and Nelson, but he's cleared both of those Pro-Am cars, now looking to take the next 2 Pro-Am cars and making his way up into P10 overall. 1, 2, 3,
P8
4,
overall.
5, 6, 7, 8. Sorry, he was in P10 and now he's in P8. Correct.
But the lap times he's putting in is an absolute hard charge, because the leader's last lap time, Seb, he was a 2 minute 10.092. Now, that may not sound like a lot, but over a course of time, over a period of time, that will significantly increase his chance of coming up a little bit more up the leaderboard.
Yeah, I mean, so Gabriel is 43 seconds back from the leader. If he's doing roughly 2 second a lap faster times, that's probably not enough to get all the way. Oh, as we see Billy having a wee spin just in front of Hamilton. It's not enough to probably catch the leader, as you'd have to get 20 laps in, and we've only got 10 minutes remaining. But he'll be able to make his way up a significant amount through the field by setting that, as Billy just locks it up a little bit coming through Agostini, the hairpin. And we've still got Jensen, who's now been passed by Kyle. Kyle's managed to go past Jensen for P3 overall. Jensen's still in P1 of the Pro-Ams, as Harry has entered the pits again, finally clearing his black flag, I think. Oh no, he cleared his black flag about 2 minutes ago, but he's come back into the pits now. Not entirely sure why, but we can see here. Oh, Kyle's does have a black flag. That will make a big change here. Obviously, Kyle being in P3, like we said, it takes a good 20 seconds to get through pit lane, so
that has a potential to drop him down to maybe 6th.
It'll be about 15 seconds that he'll have to spend. Yeah, looking at 6th, 7th. He might go past Olivia, and depends if Olivia can take advantage of this. She's 20 seconds back from him. If he has a bad entry or a bad exit out of pit road, then yes, he'll drop below Olivia. If not, he'll just drop below Thomas, which would only.
And guess who's in P7 currently, chasing Olivia? It's Gabriel.
He is indeed. Kyle is on pit road as we see Gabriel trying to get past Olivia to try and get back to his fellow pro drivers and challenge them potentially as Kyle comes back out onto pit road. Sorry, from pit road, only losing a single position to Thomas.
That is very good, most definitely.
Yeah, good thing now he served it, so he doesn't really have to worry about it. Again, as we see Freddie go off as well, I believe he's just ate a bit of grass. And is that Gabriel making easy work Olivia? Yeah, Gabriel's gone past Olivia, and he charges on in that baked beans BMW.
So Gabriel's now 8 seconds behind Kyle. Now, with only 7.5 minutes left to go, where do we think that Gabriel could possibly get to?
So we're doing, well, he did a 10 last lap, and everyone else is doing 15. So he's about 2 to 3 seconds faster a lap. He'll definitely be able to get past Kyle, who's only 2 seconds ahead of him. The next car is about... Kyle might also be faster. I can only see Kyle's pit lane inclusive speed of the last lap. Kyle has had some fast laps, but the car ahead of them, Thomas, his last lap time was a 15 and his fast one was a 12. So both of them might be able to get past Thomas here, with Kyle only being, well, Kyle being right on the heels here. As you can see, he's eating up the back bumper of that. Is that another Big Beans car? Or has he just got swirls? No, that's just swirls. I was going to say, he's eating up the back of that Big Bean car as he's going past on the inside. Oh, what a move.
Oh, that's very tight,
very
Kyle. That's
move.
very clean.
Yeah, and that's coming out of Coram onto Murray's, and they make their way on to the start straight finish. Start finish straight, and yeah,
Thomas
a bit of
comes straight back
contact.
past him.
Yeah, Thomas does a bit of a reverse move and takes the position back. Well, I don't think that'll be the end of that battle as we make our way towards Riches and then Montreal afterwards. Again, very big braking zone coming into Montreal. Such a sharp turn. As did he just touch the grass there? It does seem like
it's Carl. It seems very unsettled, doesn't it?
Yeah, that was some interesting driving there from Kyle. He almost drove onto the grass just without much pressure from Kyle, but Kyle goes past again as they head down towards Palma and Augusta. We'll watch this replay here. Kyle going past, really nice move on the inside here.
Very clean.
Yeah. And Kyle goes a bit into the Astra, so he loses traction. He recovers it well, no spin or anything. I don't know if that would be a slowdown as well. But we see here, this will be coming
definitely did very well to keep it in a straight line, that's for sure.
Yeah, not a lot of traction there'll be on that AstroTurf there. And then, yeah, he just slows down weirdly. I think, again, too close to that white line, maybe just losing traction on one side of the wheels there.
It was also a very late break from Kyle as well.
Yeah, a bit of a dive bomb, but a well-executed pass once again on Thomas. As Kyle will now be looking to try and find Jensen. There's only 4.5 minutes left, and he's 11 minutes. As Seb is in the pits, yeah, leaders in the pits, so we'll see if anyone else comes here. Obviously, Kyle has pitted already, so there might be a bit of strategy play here with Kyle not needing to pit anymore, and we'll see if the rest of the field comes in. Billy, I think, is coming to pits as well here. Yeah, Billy's coming into pits here. And Jensen assumes the lead, not coming into the pits just yet, which will put Kyle into second place, I believe, if he manages to get through. Oh, Kyle's coming to pits as well. That's the second pit stop for Kyle. I'm quite surprised he's come in here, unless the last pit stop
close together as well.
Yeah.
I just want to take a moment as well just to mention poor Stefan, who is still, unfortunately, in the pits. I'm not really too sure what happened or
Well, he's not.
the amount of damage.
He's not showing us out. So, oh, so we've got a bit of a spin here, Justin.
No, indeed, he is. Unfortunately, he's 24 minutes into his pit stop, which
He's got a meatball flag. I've just had a look. Stefan's got a meatball.
with
So
you.
just looking at Stefan, it's likely the case that he retired early on, being only listed as having done 4.99 laps. The meatball is likely his engine just having blown, if anything. So he wasn't in the pits with the meatball. So
I think it's just been sitting there idling the engine and it went kaboom.
and
Potentially, the engine the temperature of the engine's probably got too hot.
Yeah.
He might.
Yeah.
It just got too
Either
hot
way,
and obviously cooked it, unfortunately.
As we look here, Jensen has assumed the lead. He's now out front, in front of Seb, Thomas, Gabriel, Billy, and Kyle. And then Olivia is in P2 of the Pro-Am class, leading Andre, Freddie, Justin, and then Harry Shaw in, well, second last place, but Stefan's out, so we'll say last place for now.
And Jensen also has quite a nice gap as well at the moment. He's got
Yeah,
a
he
gap
does.
of around 10.5 seconds, 11 seconds.
But he's not pitted yet.
No.
So we'll see if he has to, if he's managed to somehow save his fuel. As we can see here, Kyle going a bit wide again. Nothing major.
And here we have a
God,
replay of Billy also going off. That corner seems to be plaguing quite a few people.
Yeah, I think we should just like pave over that corner at this point because, yeah, it's just a lot of people are taking that through, and that's. Is that Nelson or bomb hole that people are skipping? Oh, there's Jensen in the pits now with 1 minute 40 remaining. That's brutal. As Seb goes past into the lead. Now, Jensen is most likely looking to come out somewhere between P5, maybe.
And you'll never guess who is in P2 currently either.
Gabriel.
Gabriel is in P2.
Wow. Oh, Billy tries to make it around the outside of Jensen, but just doesn't manage it. But not enough traction on the rear there. Yeah, he does, and he keeps it going. In P4. Yeah, black flag for Billy with 1 minute to go.
That is extremely unfortunate.
Not what he wanted. Yeah.
Look at that. It just brakes a little bit too hard, too late.
Yeah.
Just completely unsettled the car. He is currently in P4, but with
a black flag for Harry as well.
That'd be the second one Harry has received.
I don't think you can get a sec. Oh, so every time you get 20, you get another one. That makes sense. So that'll be a Harry on. Oh. Jensen has a black flag, does he?
Jensen's got a black flag.
Does he? I was going to say, yeah, Billy has the black flag. I was going to say Jensen has been trying to. I think Jensen has been doing it quite clean this race. As we watch Seb here in the last 11 seconds of the race, he'll come back to a white or a checkered here. I think a checkered will be what we'll be seeing.
It should be, yes.
As we watch him
through Coram and then into Murray's.
Yeah, he's got a quite good gap on Gabriel here with 8 seconds. So unless he somehow masses up these last couple of corners.
Indeed, and I must say, Gabriel's absolutely smashed it coming from the back of the pack all the way up to P2.
It must be those baked beans, man. Baked beans for the win.
It must be. It must be. And here we go. We have got Seb Brown taking the win.
Is it the win? Is that the final? Yeah, across the line. There we go. Wonderful. And Gabriel coming in P2. No bother. Coming all the way from the back in that Big Beans car. Jensen coming in P3. And Billy is not going to serve his black flag. That'll be time added on to the end.
40-second penalty added on to the end there, which unfortunately
would put him.
Doesn't do his race any favours.
No, so he'll be going down to about probably P10, P9. as we watch
Unfortunately, it's a risk,
Kyle and
isn't it?
Thomas.
Because you can't cross the finish line if you're in the pits. And unfortunately, I believe he may well have had to do another lap to come around across the line, which would have completely put him in last place.
So in terms of the rules, if you get a drive-through or a black flag on the final lap, it will have to be a time penalty. So there's no point compounding your problems taking the checkered flag in the pit lane, because the penalty will still have to be applied. So,
with you,
yeah. But in either case,
Very good.
I think everyone has taken the line now.
Yeah, they have. Well,
Just waiting for Harry Shaw to make his way around.
Yeah, just Harry needs to take the checkered flag here, as the rest of the field has come across, and we've got our final finishing order for the first race, which will be Seb in P1, followed by Gabriel and Jensen. Jensen taking the P1 for the Pro-Ams. We've got Billy and Kyle and Thomas following up with 4, 5, and 6. Olivia taking P2 of the class, as well as overall P7, followed by Freddie, Andre, Justin, and Harry. And all of my things just shifted. I think Billy's automatically been given his penalty, so he will finish. Oh, it's just gotten rid of my leaderboard. That's lovely.
He'll finish dead last, and that puts him in turn on pole. So, reverse grid coming to the rescue for him here. And I believe
most definitely.
I don't think he finishes dead last. I think he finished in P8. Yeah.
Yep. Unfortunately, it would have been Stefan that finished dead last.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah, Stefan was 14 laps down. Harry was 3 laps down. And then Justin was the last car on the lead lap to finish.
Right.
As we can see, the track has cleared nicely. No more rain. Still some wetness on the track. However, a bit of rain, a little bit light rain. Some corners maybe a lot better.
But we can see sunshine, and that is all that matters.
Exactly.
So with Gabriel coming from the back of the pack on that last race up to P2, what's the chances we see him do that again?
Probably quite high. I mean, he showed his ability to fight through traffic. And we are back. We're just waiting at the moment for a bit of warm-up time, which is just due to finish, and then we'll have a reverse grid, which at this point I'll run us through the grid. So for our second race, we've got Stefan in P1, followed by Harry, followed by... Oh. Yeah, there we go. Why is it?
Followed by Justin. And then we've got Andre.
Account.
Then we have got Billy. We have got Freddie. We've got Olivia. Thomas, we got Kyle, we got Jensen, we got Gabriel, and then we got Seb rounding out the back of the field, who just took the win in the race 1.
Indeed. And I hope this doesn't mess things up, because at the moment it's looking like my broadcasting account is lining up P1. Yeah, so we'll run through the order. If we can move the car, there we go, perfect. So we've got Stefan in P1. Next to him should be Harry. Yeah, we have got a bit of a staggered grid here. That'll fix itself once they get going. So Stefan and Harry in the front row, followed by Justin and Andre, followed by Billy and Freddie in that blue Porsche. And then afterwards, we've got Olivia in her Corvette, which is struggling to get going there. Behind them is Thomas. Next to Thomas. And then behind them is Kyle and Jensen in the Mustang and the Ferrari. And then at the back, we've got Gabriel and Seb just finishing up in that lovely car. Sorry. Is Kyle starting from the pits? Interesting. We'll see how that goes for him. As we
that potentially is probably a penalty from the last race. Do you not think?
I don't know. He might just
unless he didn't make the grid in time.
Well, it's either that or he'll have looked at the mess that was last race start and gone, nah, I'm not doing that. I'll just start in the pits and catch up in my own time. Which could be very
Take the long way around, eh?
Pretty much, yeah. As we watch them come down towards Murray's and making their way onto the start-finish line, we'll see the pit car move off soon here. And we still have everyone on wet tyres, so hopefully the little bit of wetness on the track shouldn't be a problem. At least we'll be able to see this time, which is good. As we have the camera on the start-finish line and they take the green flag and we are going. As they make their way down towards Riches, we can see Harry and Stefan fighting here side by side down towards Montreal, and Harry takes the lead from Stefan.
I believe we also had a clean getaway from all drivers as well.
I think so, yeah. I don't think we've had any major incidents so far, as we see that big beans car of Gabriel just moving through and maybe moving his BMW teammate out the way a little bit, being challenged by Olivia on the left as well. Stefan falling back significantly from Harry at the top, whereas we've got a lot of battling and a lot of tightness going on around Gabriel. As we see Jensen running a little bit wide here, maybe a little bit of an off track. And they kind of sort themselves out in a little line here with Jensen and Olivia up the rear of the pack. Kyle still not started, so I don't think Kyle is going to be participating in this race.
That is unfortunate. He did, minus the incidents, he did have a very good race. That's a shame for him not to participate in the second race.
Yeah, it really is. I was looking forward to seeing how that Mustang was going to be doing, but we move on regardless. As we can see at the top, we've got Freddie trying to make a move on Stefan here. Stefan having dropped back quite a bit from the start. He's lost 3 positions. As we can see, the beautiful sunset come down over Snetterton. Way better conditions than the first race. And we can see Freddie kind of jumping over the curb there. Bit of contact with his fellow Porsche driver as they make their way down towards Coram. We'll see if they slot in nicely. Oh, and a little bit of a cheeky move by Gabriel past Freddie as well. We'll see if Gabriel is able to take the other Porsche of Thomas coming into Murray's here or on the start-finish straight. Some good racing displayed here by Gabriel, moving up through the field very quickly up to P5 now already? No, 6. Yeah, P6 from P12 within the first lap. Certainly is not a bad performance. And Kyle is now on track. Kyle has started the race. He is nearly a lap down, but at least he started, as we see maybe an attempted move by Gabriel, but he backs out just before the hairpin, as I believe I can hear someone being off track. And there certainly was a little yellow section on...
I believe that was Andre that just came off track.
Yeah. Get a replay here. We'll see what happens with this BMW here. You can see the spray still obviously quite wet. Does he get help here from Jensen? He does. Jensen helps him into the corner, and
that was a big nudge from Jensen.
Yeah, he's definitely not going to be happy with that. Whether that was just Jensen assuming the track was going to be a bit more dry than it actually was, or just not paying attention. I guess only he will know.
Very unfortunate.
Yeah, we see Thomas here trying to fight back at Stefan. He's made his way back around Gabriel. Oh, did Gabriel ever take that position? I don't remember. No, he didn't. Sorry.
Harry has also just set the fastest lap in with a 2:10.628.
Yeah.
He is currently 1.5 seconds faster than everybody on the track at the moment.
Yeah, that'll be certainly interesting to watch as we see a move here, or an attempted move by Thomas onto Stefan, which kind of gives Gabriel a bit of an advantage. Oh, that was a very last-minute dive to the inside here. Some good racing going on here. Gabriel trying to go around the outside of both of those cars, of Thomas and... Oh, God. Was that a sausage he's just hit there? All I can see is... I'll have a look here. Oh, is that Seb? Yeah, Seb unsettling Thomas here a little bit and going past him, which don't think Thomas is going to be too happy about. And Stefan having a bit of issues here going off track, but merging back onto track.
Definitely not how we're going to the corner with no traction either.
No, braking on grass doesn't really work. Usually the black stuff is where you want to be, especially if you're on the brakes.
I think you've got more of a chance of putting some butter onto a hot line.
Yeah, you're basically just trying to brake on ice at that point, which, well, I'm sure we've all tried that before and hit a curb or something in our own cars. I certainly have, and it was very sad. As we see a bit of off-track action here, even more. I believe that's Stefan again. Yeah, Stefan slowly dropping through the field, being overtaken by Freddie here as well.
We've also seen a dramatic increase in time, or decrease in times as well, with the last laps being set where a 2:04 with Seb Brown in P5 overall. He is P4 in the pro class at 2:03.679.
Yeah, I mean, we can certainly see that the track is drying up from that evening sun. We'll see how that further impacts it if we can get down to maybe a complete... I don't know if we'll see a complete dry track in the next 34 minutes, but we'll get to as close to it as possible, and maybe even to a point where we can switch back onto dry tires. As we can see here, Stefan, is that Stefan that's gone off? No, Justin. Justin just going off the track behind Gabriel and falling into the clutches of Seb behind him. And that is the Pro-Am leader at the moment, Justin. As Gabriel is now up into P3. So he's gone from P12 to P3 in about 3 laps, which is very impressive.
Absolutely fantastic, most definitely. We should start to see a nice dry line forming quite soon as well, which will, in a way, hinder people on the wets. But we shall see, obviously, what happens and see whether they keep an eye on their tyres. Pit stops are going to be the opposite of this one in terms of tyre-wise, but they're also going to be crucial. Because we don't want to be killing wet tyres, and once they go, they go. You end up being the opposite with the tyres in terms of wet tyres wet tyres when they go off, they're going to be like ice skates as well, obviously on a dry track.
Exactly, and it's a shame that Kyle started so late because he's just set the fastest lap time at 02:01.
Oh, wow. Bravo, Kyle, bravo.
He's incredibly fast, but unfortunately he is also 79 seconds behind the leader. 99 seconds behind the leader, so over a minute behind.
How many laps down is he?
He's not a lap down yet. He's currently about half a lap probably ahead of Harry. So I don't see him, well, he would need 79 laps to unlap himself at his current pace. Maybe somewhere between 80 and 40 laps, and we've only got about 37 laps that we're going to run.
Never say never. Be very interesting
He
to
might-
keep an eye on him, see whether he can get to, you know, at least a couple more spots up front with being so far back. He's also just smashed that as well. He's just now gone for a 2:01.521.
Yeah, so he's significantly faster. Obviously, he's one of the pro drivers, but is it going to be fast enough to at least get back to the field?
Well, with the lead car doing a 2:03.941, that is just over 2 seconds difference time-wise. Oh, no, sorry. We are literally just over a second time-wise lap times. Now, obviously, I know that means nothing with Harry being up front and Paul Kyle being back in dead last. Time-wise, if he was there with him, it would be a very interesting and close race, that's for sure.
He is making some good gaps on the car ahead of him, Andre, so he's doing about 5 to 7 seconds faster laps, which should mean he should reach the back of the field within 10 or so laps. So he'll be back in some sort of fighting, I'm sure, before the end of the race, but probably not where he wants. And we've also got a bit of a comment from Stefan saying that he quit the last race because of the water on the track.
That's understandable. It was a very tough race, that's for sure, for everyone. Everyone involved.
I respect that. I would rather someone retires and say, look, this is not for me, than cause issues from other drivers spinning in front of them, causing crashes and that kind of. So I respect that move from Stefan, and he's obviously back racing now in P2 Pro-Am. No, P3, sorry.
Let's bring it to Freddie Carter in P6. He is currently in lead of the Pro-Ams with Stefan around 2 seconds behind him.
Yeah, Jensen, Stefan and Freddie are quite in a little tight pack here. We'll see who comes out on top. Freddie not being the fastest lap times. Jensen do the fastest out of them three. Excuse me.
Then we've got Kyle who's also put in another fastest lap again. He's on 2:01.148.
Yeah.
He's really pushing
it down. Yeah, he's
really pushing.
He's trying to get back to the back of that field, trying to get to Andre and Olivia. And Olivia again. Olivia's now in second to last of the field. I was expecting more to come back here from the back of the field. I don't know if she's having issues or something else, but she's lacking quite behind the rest of them. Jensen being up there where I expect them to be. But we have the field nicely separated now between pros and pro-ams, with the first 5 being our pros, and then following on, we've got 6 of the pro-ams, and obviously Kyle's behind all of them. But we'll see how it
More
unfolds
importantly,
here.
this race, we've had some incredibly clean racing compared to the first race with our little shenanigans that we had. As mentioned, obviously there'll be a few conversations handed out obviously after this race meeting is over.
Yeah, I mean, you can't blame it too much on the drivers. Obviously, the conditions were horrendous. It's something that, at that point, isn't really their fault. But we did have some people with quite a few incidents. I think Kyle ended the last race, on 28 incidents, while Harry ended on 32. And it says even the pace car has an incident. So I don't know how that's happened, but on my report card here, the pace car does have a incident.
The pace car has been naughty, just to let everyone know. It received an incident mark. But it is great,
bizarre.
it's very great to see that this track drying out very nicely, and lap time significantly coming down compared to the last race, which should mean for the latter part of this race, we should be in some very fast load lap times as well.
Yeah, and we see, like we said, the lap times are slowly becoming more steady, more and more people setting And Gabriel's just set another 2:01. Harry set another 2:02. There's more 2:01s across the board now, as we see Seb and Thomas both setting 2:01s. And Kyle has made up some pace. He's now only 53 seconds back from Andre, so he's getting there, as I thought he would.
Indeed, and also with an unofficial just over 2 minute flat lap time, which is incredible. He is on a charge. Unfortunately, I think it'd be a little too late, but we've still got 26 minutes of racing time left. Maybe he might get Andre, but we'll continue to monitor that and just to, keep you guys updated to see how he's getting on with that. But back to the front anyway, with Harry still out front with a gap of only a second, so it's quite close up the front there.
Yeah, we'll see if Gabriel is able to mount a charge here and get to the back of Harry and get around him, more importantly, because catching up to someone is one thing, but then being able to pass them, that's the hard part, especially with the conditions still not being ideal. Obviously, everything becomes a bit more sketchy. You can't use as much of the track. The painted areas will still be quite dodgy. You can see here on this part of the track, which is the back straight, a lot of standing water still, and that's the last thing you want as they make their way down towards Brundle and Nelson, and then down into the bomb hole. You can see a lovely onboard view here from Gabriel onto the back bumper of Harry. Again, still about a second gap between the two. Bit of a difference in the car there. Obviously, we mentioned the Lamborghini having a mid-engine while the BM is front engine, and you can see he's just closing the gap here, and he goes for the move to the inside, and he finish it onto the back straight. Lamborghini of Harry is just able to pull ahead out of Murray's, and Gabriel isn't able to just complete the move, but I'm sure that's not the last charge we'll see from Gabriel.
I'd imagine that would be a practice run.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll get him next time, potentially, with speed like that. I mean, again, Gabriel being about a second per lap faster on average, I would say.
Don't count Seb out as well. Seb is catching them. He is closed in that gap very, very quickly.
Yeah, Seb doing a faster lap time than both of them in the last lap, setting a 2:01.3 while they were both sitting in the twos. We'll see if he's able to take advantage of the two fighting. Obviously, if they're fighting each other, they'll be driving slightly slower than if they were, just driving without anyone challenging them. And Seb will be able to take advantage of that and close the gap right up and turn this into a three-way battle for the lead. As we see Thomas as well, kind of trying to edge his way towards the back of them. He's 4 seconds back from Harry at the moment. So all in all, the top four being within 5 seconds of each other. Quite an intense battle about halfway through this race.
Yes, definitely closer.
The headlights will be coming on here as well. We will be starting to see some almost nighttime racing as the sun is slowly approaching the horizon, and there is no on-track lighting, so headlights is all we've got, folks, and we'll hope they make do here as we can see a beautiful sunset just behind our leader.
Another thing, how cool do those BMW lights look as well?
I know, BMW lights are incredible. Very beautiful car, the M4 GT3. I mean, all of these cars are incredible, but I do love that kind of slashing down the side when you can just see the glare of it. Incredible lights.
Very aggressive and alien like, it's like a hunter.
Well, it's a BMW. I mean, if you've ever driven on a public road before and you've had a BMW behind you, they usually are quite flash happy. I say this as a BMW driver myself. We do quite like to use our flash to pass, which is what it's actually called in the manual. The headlight flashing is called a flash to pass.
That's a little trip to Mexico, isn't it? Is what we call that?
Yeah, we'll call it that. Trip to the Autobahn or Mexico. Either way, we do like using our little flashies, and it does usually get people out of the way quite fast. But we'll see if it works here for Gabriel. No flashing from anyone in the field, except from Olivia at the start. So no endurance strategies being used here so far. We'll see if any of them will start using some endurance racing strategies to get into the minds of each other as we come down into the last 22 minutes of the race, or if they are just going to rely on good old-fashioned speed, pace, and positioning of cars.
Well, talking about speed and pace, the top 4 at the moment are separated by only 4 seconds. So up front, it's definitely a very close battle. And coming into just over halfway, sorry, we should start to see some pit strategies coming into play as well. What that will be, obviously, we will find out shortly. But remaining how close they are at the moment, we are top 3 with half a second gap.
Yeah, it's pretty good between the top 3, and obviously Thomas just leading up the rear of that group, trying to catch on though. Gabriel and Harry are definitely the most intense battle out of these two, and I think the other two are just waiting their place in case these two get together to take advantage of the 2 free positions. Seb here in the prime position. I mean, if Gabriel overdrives a corner and wipes out Harry, Seb's going to be benefiting a lot from that as they just come down the straight, front straight and into Riches. And we'll see if Gabriel is able to make a move into the hairpin here. Though Seb looks like he's looking to the inside. Though Gabriel, a bit of a defensive move. Moving
He
just
definitely had a
to
little look.
Yeah, he had the right look to that rear quarter of the Lamborghini. But he backs off a little bit as they make their way down into Palmer and then towards the second sharpest hairpin on the track, Agostini. I'm probably not pronouncing that right, but it's something along those lines. And we'll see if any of them make a move. Gabriel taking a bit of a tighter line than Harry, and Seb moving right to the bumper of Gabriel. You can just see the headlights of Thomas behind them. Billy being quite far back from that group, so at the moment it's just a 4-way, well, 3-way really, and then maybe a 4-way battle. Still within 6 seconds of each other, top 4, and we can see Jensen going past Freddie here for the lead of the Pro-Ams. I think this happened a little while ago. Oh, this is live. Sorry, I'm looking at the replay button, the replay overlay. So that gives over the lead of Jensen of the Pro-Ams, finally dethroning. And another one is Olivia's made up some position. So she's now in P4 of the Pro-Ams, just 10 seconds back from Stefan. We see some headlight flashing from Freddie. I mentioned it earlier. He's doing it now. As he jumps the sausage a little bit. Don't want to really do that. As we go back to our leaders here, still in a tight lock battle, coming down the front straight towards the start finish line. We can see the track is really dried out now. There's barely any water left on there. There's still a bit of spray, but when it comes to like standing water wise, not a lot left, especially on the front straight. And you can see Gabriel just trying to catch on with Harry as they make their way down into the Montreal hairpin, and Gabriel looks to the inside, but he isn't just close enough to get side by side with Harry, as Harry still takes the lead out of the hairpin down towards Palmer and into the second hairpin of Agostini. And we can see Freddie here just making their way into the... Where are they at? They're also in the first hairpin of Montreal, getting through there with no bother. Jensen going past Billy here. Billy being the last pro car, except from Kyle, who is working his way back towards the field. He's only 24 seconds back from Andre now. That's a wee update on Kyle. So he's definitely making up some good pace. And we'll have a look at Harry, still leading the pros, with Jensen leading the Pro-Ams, and he's put Billy between himself and Freddie now, which it's quite a good strategic move, because getting past Billy is going to be an interesting challenge for Freddie. We'll see if he can make it, or if Jensen can use the opportunity to drive away from Freddie, give him a nice safe lead and potentially the victory of Pro-Am.
Well, with Harry up at the front, let's throw it back down to Kyle again. He has managed to close the gap to 21 seconds behind Andre with consistent 2-minute lap times.
Yeah, and he's just set fastest lap time last lap, which was a 20, sorry, a 2:01. So just 1/10 off a perfect 2-minute lap, which no one else has been able to do. As you can see here, using the track limits very generously, just absolutely zooming around this track. We'll not spend too much time on him, hopefully not to give him another commentator's curse as we cut back to Jensen.
Yes, we don't want 2 for 2, that's for sure.
No, I think we've done enough damage to his race. And we'll just watch Jensen and Harry. I'm sure nothing will happen to them. Hopefully. If it does and they watch this back, they'll probably curse me out. But such is the thing as... Might have a bit of an issue. Oh no, it's all good. Never mind. We've got a first pit. Justin here coming into the pits from P10. So we'll see if this is potentially a strategy move to go into dry tyres here, which will obviously be significantly faster than the wets. He's not got up in the air yet, so he's refueling at the moment. We'll see if his car gets lifted up by those hydraulic jacks. And he gets them, and no, he doesn't get tyres. He just gets a bit of fuel to get through to the end of the race, and it was a 27-second pit stop, but no dry tyres. I thought for sure we were going to see some early potential strategy play here, especially from that far back in the field to try and attempt those dry tyres, but no, everyone's still on wets so far.
Well, with just under 16 minutes left to go, there's still time for people to swap over to dry should they feel comfortable in doing so.
Yeah, 100%. And if you're in the back of the field, like, you know, Justin, Andre, or Olivia, it's something that you might as well try, because if you're just going to do the same as everyone else, you'll probably not get very far. But if you try and alternate a little bit... Oh, is that a bit of a feint here from Harry? It looks like he was maybe looking towards the inside of the pit line. Oh, that looked very close, but then he kind of dived back out of it. As we see Gabriel here making a move to the inside of Harry as they come down towards Riches, and we'll see who is ahead when we get to the Montreal hairpin. Harry just pulling ahead again. Gabriel not able to finish up that move. Once again, he seems to be able to get to the side of him quite easily, but then he can't quite finish up those moves. He seems to struggle to get ahead of him, and if he does get ahead, Harry just gets him right back. So we see some really good racing between the two here. I mean, Harry and Gabriel. Gabriel is a 4.3 KI rating driver, while Harry is a 2.5 KI rating driver. So usually not maybe... Oh, as Harry goes off and Gabriel goes by.
No, that's commentator's curse right there. We were just talking about it.
Oh, that's devastating. He just overdrives the turn. It was the Agnosti hairpin. He just overdrives and he goes onto the grass and he spins.
Oh, I think it's maybe time for him to change tyres.
Yeah.
Very, very good for both those incidents not to send it into any barriers and keep it all, all field
yeah.
with no damage.
Or other cars.
Exactly, yes. Great avoidance as well. Great avoidance from...
So no damage there. But it does move him down into P4, which is a very unfortunate circumstance for him.
Most definitely. He has led the race for the past 25 minutes.
Well, we'll see if he's able to fight back here. He's not too far off. He's only about a second back from Thomas, who's 3 seconds back from Seb. And he's still got a healthy lead on Billy with about 10 seconds. As we see Jensen actually chasing Billy here at the bottom screen. And we've got our new leader of Gabriel in that Baked Beans BMW, who, not going to lie, that's my personal favourite now. I'm kind of rooting for him. A, because it's Baked Beans. B, because it's a BMW, and because he's done a stellar job, to be honest. I think he's done really well here, and he's clearly just an incredible driver.
Most definitely, and we saw in race 1 an incredible charge from the back of the pack. I'm pretty sure it was P12, sorry, maybe P11 in the first race, and he came back to get P2 just behind Seb. And obviously with the reverse grid, we've now got Gabriel and Seb P1 and P2. So can Seb come from the very, very back of the grid to win? We shall see, but Gabriel is definitely putting on an incredible charge today, that's for sure.
Yeah, and Gabriel definitely needs to win because this is his first, I believe his first race in the series. So he's sitting on 0 points in the standings. he's got a lot to make up if he wants a chance at winning the series standing. I mean, our leader, Luke Andrews, at the moment with 142 points. That's a significant amount of points you have to make up. Seb, however, he has scored previous points, and he also wants it because Seb is currently sitting in P19 with 45 points. So with a lot of people taking an off week this week, probably to prepare for the Daytona endurance race, it's a good chance for these people who are in this race, like Seb and Gabriel, to make up a bit of this points lead.
Indeed, and especially with having the Andrews brothers out this week, it definitely gives everyone else a fighting chance, to get to the front of the pack, with the Andrews brothers both being so dominant in the races that they have done so far.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, we can talk all day about how the Andrews brothers were incredible, but they're not here today, so we'll save that for the next time, where I'm sure we'll see them up the top of the field, and we'll just focus on the splendid performance that's come from Gabriel today, as well as Jensen, again, doing a really good job driving his way to the front of this field. And where is he at the moment? We've got about only a 1.5 second gap to Billy now, so might see Jensen go past Billy here and split up these fields a bit, because at the moment we've got nice pros and pro-ams, and Kyle has gone past Andre. Andre haven't gone in the pits, but Kyle is no longer last, and he's hot on the heels of Justin, so he's caught not only one but two cars.
Indeed, and we've also got Harry and Thomas having an awesome battle as well, with only half a second between them two. Obviously, with Harry's offs, he unfortunately dropped back a little bit from the leading two, but with his solid lap times he's been putting in, he'll definitely put it back up to Seb again. With that, he'll be bringing Thomas with him. What can the pair of them do? Can they get involved in the mix? Can they potentially bring the top two steps? Who's going to be on the podium? Who isn't going to be on the podium?
Yeah, and I mean, the fight for third is going to be a lot harsher than probably the fight between third and second, or fifth and fourth, because you want to get on that podium. You don't want to, like, fourth is alright, but third is so much better. And then, like, everything else, you either want first or you want third. Second's alright, but it's like, it doesn't make a difference much between third and second. But that kind of third to fourth is a big one to keep an eye on at the moment. That's Harry and Thomas, who are, like you said, in a half a second battle, with Thomas just being behind. Oh, as Harry jumps on that sausage a little bit, which gives an opportunity to Thomas to take the inside line and potentially get past Harry here. Or does Harry send it on the outside? He tries, but I think Thomas has got that. I think Thomas has taken
very
P3
clean,
here.
Very nice blocking.
Yeah, and taking some good advantage of that little mistake that Harry made, just hitting that sausage coming out of, I believe it was Nelson or Bombhole. Bombhole, you have to watch how you're saying that.
Indeed, Max, but you never guess what I've just seen as well on the timing. You're not going to believe this. So we have got Kyle in P10, still with the fastest lap of the race of a 2-minute flat. He is actually in front of Justin and Andre as well.
Wow. Yeah, so Andre still being in the pits, and we've got Billy as well in the pits. But yeah, incredible drive as we see Harry fighting back, or trying to fight back anyway. Coming into Palmer here, and they'll come up to this next hairpin, and we'll see. Is that someone spun on pit lane? I think Billy spun on pit lane. I've just seen him. Someone's doing something weird on pit lane. That's Andre doing something.
Yes,
oh, and the spoiler's just gone flying. It'll be interesting to see if we can get a replay of what on earth is going on in pit lane, because that's bizarre. And he'll be leaving. And he'll be leaving pit lane without a spoiler, which will be a big disadvantage to him having no downforce, especially in the wet. I have no doubt we'll see him in a wall, probably within this lap, unless he can kind of coast it around clearly. You can already see
he's already gone off.
Yeah,
he's
no bootlet or spoiler.
Are
we able to get a replay of what's happened in pit lane here as Kyle makes his way onto pit lane as well?
Indeed, what on earth happened there? He is coming back into pit lane now.
No, this is a replay, I think. So we watch him come in. He's already missing the boot lid, making him play. It's quite a bumpy pit road. And then he gets his car serviced. Maybe get a bit of fast forwarding here.
And he gets another boot lid.
he gets new tires and another already pre-dented boot lid. Oh. I'm just trying to see what's happened here because I've never seen someone spin on pit road and lose their spoiler.
Whilst we're just on that, we have also got Thomas, Harry, and Seb in the pits, with Seb coming out now. Gabriel currently is in P1.
Oh, and he just loses it.
A little bit too much sauce as he comes out of his spot. And then unfortunately...
Yeah, he still has his spoiler. What's happened here?
He must have a bit too much power going backwards. Or is someone going to hit him?
Oh! And he blocks a Freddy and he... Oh, God.
Both front and rear end damage on that.
What a devastating pit stop. Yeah, let's go back to live, as I think there's a lot of stuff happening across the track. Andre still trying to make his way around with some
Most definitely, we've
issues.
got Thomas in P3 who has managed to get around Harry.
Yeah. Jensen's still leading the Pro-Ams, not having... Oh, no, he has pitted. Gabriel's still looking for a pit stop, so everyone has pitted except from Gabriel and Olivia, who are still sitting on 0 pit stops. Everyone's still on wet tires except Kyle and Andre. Kyle and Andre now on the dry tires, so like I thought Kyle would probably do, he's got not much to lose here except from trying to make up cool lap times. So he's gone onto those dry tires, which he might be struggling a little bit with here.
Indeed, it'll all be data for him anyway for you know, races
the other
that he may
teams
have coming up in the future.
Yeah, and it will give the other teams in the pit like an opportunity to look at him and see, are we able to switch back onto these dries here with 5 minutes remaining? I wouldn't say
Most
it's
definitely
probably the best strategy move if you haven't pitted yet. If you still have a pit like Gabriel or Olivia, this would be crucial for them. If they have a spotter or anyone watching the race to see what can Kyle do on these tires, and when we come in, what we're going to do. As we can see Gabriel here coming onto pit road now, and Andre spinning again in the background. He's really needing to come in here and get himself
by
prepared.
the looks of it, he is.
Yeah, he is. That's good. That is a I would say moving roadblock, and no tire change here for Gabriel, staying on the wet tires, just fuel only. Coming out of pit road back, and he's still in the lead.
Now, Max, do you think that's a disadvantage or an advantage with him going in for only fuel and not tyres?
Well, everyone else has done it, so he's playing it safe, I would say, because if we look at Kyle, he's been having some issues. I can see a lot of yellows and like 4 black flags for Kyle, so I don't think the track is quite dry enough for dry tires. So I think he's done the right thing here.
To wets as well, which potentially means that Kyle may well be swapping to wets because he just came.
Kyle actually is showing us out on my thing. Don't know why. And Olivia and Freddie also make their way into pit. So that's everyone on pit road now. That should. Freddie coming in for a second pit. He's not pitted too far ago. He only pitted 4 minutes ago. So we'll see if Freddie here. No, Freddie doesn't switch to dries either. So everyone's staying on wets. Olivia making her final pit stop. And we've got a potential issue with Jensen here, who's being, he's off the track. And Billy is going to catch him here, putting the fields back in the right order. So pros and Pro-Ams being separated now again. I believe Jensen might have just misjudged that hairpin. Oh, yeah, just a bit too much throttle going through the inside of that hairpin, maybe a bit too much higher on that rubble curb, as Gabriel is still in a healthy lead of about 4 seconds. However, Seb, Thomas and Harry, they've not finished fighting yet. They're still in there, and Olivia is being challenged by Freddie as well. They're quite close here, as we can see Freddie potentially trying to get past Olivia here for, what would that be, P3, so the podium. We can see the podium fight here for the Pro-Ams, and we'll see who is able to walk away with it. Both of them, you can see those lovely brake rotors on Freddie's car as they just come into the corner.
As he goes round the long way as well, that would have been a beautiful pass. Still committed, still in it. He's still in it.
And he sticks it, and he's able to take the position here. Olivia straight away with a flashing headlight. She's not happy.
Olivia not happy about that, going the long way round.
She's using that endurance racing tactic of flash them until they either concede or get dazzled or something. But yeah, she clearly thinks she can take him here.
She is not happy.
Yeah, it's either that or she's trying to play his mind, as we watch Seb here being followed not too far by Thomas Dyer, and Jensen and Harry having a bit of an issue here. I think both of them just went off track as well in the front area of the track. And I believe Harry's got a meatball flag. If we can get a replay of what's happened here, that'd be ideal. Yeah, Harry's been meatballed, and
so just for anyone that doesn't know what a meatball flag is, a meatball flag has a huge impact for Harry.
Yeah.
Huge impact.
That'll be race ending for him.
Unfortunately, when the car is too damaged to be able to continue, when you continue on the track, the marshals and stewards will just determine whether the car is safe or unsafe. And unfortunately, Harry's car is unsafe to continue, so he will have to get it repaired. Or is that him out now?
I think with 1 minute remaining in the race, that'll be him done.
That's him out. That is unfortunate for Harry. That is very unfortunate.
Yeah, he will most likely be last. Kyle has not returned to
Harry was also on dries as well, might I add.
Oh,
unless
that'll be probably why.
But let's go back to Olivia anyway. How incredible does that Iron Brew livery look on that Corvette?
It does look really good. I'm glad you mentioned that because I made it, so I appreciate the little the little compliment there.
Little tidbit.
I do. Yeah, we like a bit of Scottish representation, as you can still see her flashing away. And Harry is now dropping through the order on my screen as well, so he'll be probably finishing in last, with Gabriel still out front and Olivia's still trying to get to Freddie. I mean, their gap isn't too big. They've only got about half a second between the two, but is that enough as we've gone to the last lap of the race here?
Indeed, and with Gabriel up front, he's got a 7-second lead ahead of Seb currently.
Yeah, and Olivia here and Freddie, they will be taking the white flag. As we can see them come down the start stop line, front straight.
And Jensen has also just taken P4 from Billy too.
He has taken it back indeed. As we watch Gabriel here come down the back straight one last time, making their way.
Oh, and we've got a spin.
Oh God, Billy's killed himself, I think. I think Billy's... No, he's actually fine. It was just a spin. It looked a lot worse than that. I thought he was going off somewhere, but that's... yeah.
He did very well to save that, and Jensen did incredible to avoid that. Absolutely fantastic drive.
Good avoidance here at the end of last lap. Don't want a tragedy as we watch Gabriel take the last turn around Murray's onto the front straight. And we'll see him across the start-finish line, and he takes the win. And that's Gabriel, our winner.
That was a little nudge.
P1. And Seb and Thomas coming across this line as well with a bit of fighting, it seems like. We've got Jensen and Billy coming up the rear. Jensen and Billy just turning around Murray's onto the start-finish line. And Jensen flashes his headlights as he goes across the line. And Billy will be following shortly after. And then Freddie, Olivia, and Stefan are still backed in a three-way battle. So if we can have a look at that, they're just making their way around Nelson and Bumhall. And we can see still some heavy flashing by Olivia as they make their way down towards Coram and Murray's. We'll see if Olivia is able to somehow edge out and try and get past.
Freddie is extremely locked in right now to not be distracted.
I know he is.
By Olivia's flashing.
And they make their way onto the front straight. And I think the flashing wasn't enough.
Well.
And we see them cross the line and behind them Stefan finishing up as well, and then Justin as well, just making their way onto the back straight, and we will see him cross the line, and then I think Andre's the last one on track after that. Kyle and Harry being out of the race. And we'll just watch Andre wait for him to finish. But we've got our 2 winners here, Gabriel and Jensen, winners of Pro and Pro-Am. Jensen putting on, again, a dominating performance. He has been quite good. I think he's P7 in the standings at the moment, and this win will surely move him up quite far. Harry really needed that win. He was P4, just on the edge of being in the top 3 in the standings, but unfortunately it'll be a bad points day for him. As we can see, everyone just using whatever's left of their tires and having a bit of fun on the racetrack, and there's our winner. We'll see if we get some victory donuts or something. We've not had any so far, but maybe Gabriel will give us some.
Absolutely fantastic night of racing from Gabriel. In the first race, coming from the back of the pack straight up to the front, and in the second race, doing the same again, shortly followed by Seb. Guys, what a fantastic race tonight. Absolutely fantastic. Brilliant. Extremely clean racing in that second race. Unfortunately, the race one, it just couldn't be helped due to the weather. But the track started to dry out very nicely, and I reckon if we'd gone a little bit longer, we most definitely would have had a dry track, that's for sure.
100%. And like you said, there was some very good racing that we've seen from the second race. And the first race, it was an interesting way to test these drivers that we have in our league, to see how they perform in the wet, because it's almost a different discipline of racing. You have to drive very differently when you do that. But we'll get our interviews queued up with the winners of each of our classes, and then we'll see you in a sec with that. And we're back. We're back now with Jensen for his pre-race interview. Obviously, winning both races with the Pro-Am class. How are you feeling about that, Jensen? How is those races for you?
I was held on to my breath for a long time, even though I had like the gap to them. But I just kept trying to be as smooth as possible because I didn't want to lose it. But I'd call that a pretty successful day, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you showed that you're able to not only race quite well in the dry in the last couple of races, but you showed some good performance in the wet. Obviously, there was a lot of issues in the first race with the weather being as harsh as it was, but you managed to persevere and get through. Just tell me how you were able to manage your race car and get through that mostly clean.
Yeah, mostly clean. If turn one, I was absolutely bricking it because I mean, I had a clear view, but it was just like everyone behind me, I could just see the spray and many lights flashing. So getting a bit nervous, my leg was shaking. But then obviously I went back to last because of a crash I had with Kyle. But then I just kind of resetted and then just kind of 6, one off at a time, and then managed to work my way back up. And I did a lot of practice for this, and I knew it was going to be raining, so yeah, worked off.
That's good to hear. So you kind of used your going back as kind of like a reset, right? I'm already at the back. Let's just drive this cleanly now, and that worked for you.
Yeah, it did, yeah.
Nice.
Ooh.
Well, how did you find these cars handling the wet? Was it better than you expected, or you said you did a lot of practicing? How did it compare racing in the wet than doing the practice in the wet?
They handled decently for the amount of wet weather, the amount of like wet water that was on the track. But yeah, there were definitely some times I felt like I was losing grip or gripping back. But yeah, I just kind of.
I think everyone was feeling that towards, especially in the first race, towards the start of it. Well, if you want to shout anyone out, just that's your time now. Feel free to thank anyone. But yeah, thank you so much for coming on the broadcast, and very well done on those 2 races.
Thank you very much.
Anyone want to shout out? Say thank you to.
Thanks Sim Motorsport and thanks Phoenix.
No worries at all. Right. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Have a good day.
And we're back now with our first race winner of the pros, Seb Brown. How was that race for you as we watch you in the broadcast?
Well, I think it was pretty good. I didn't get a quali timing because I tried to go an extra up on the dries, and then quali stopped as I was on my flyer in the wet tyres. So ended up not getting a time in and started like last, I think, second to last. And just tried to make my way up. And obviously you saw what happened with me and Billy. That was my fault, I think. But yeah, I think it was a good race overall though. Didn't spin it in the end.
Yeah, we've got a lot of kind of stories in this race of people coming from last to first. So it's a very impressive drive you pulled off there, going all the way pretty much from dead last to the front position. How did you find these cars handled in the wet today?
When it was the first race and it was basically a lake, not great. I mean, I didn't have a bumper because when I crashed with Billy, I didn't have a bumper for basically the whole of the first part until I pit, and then I got the bumper back. But that whole time I had no bumper, and it was even less grip. So I was just trying to find a line, which was difficult because it was all wet. And
how much harder did that make?
Huh?
And how much harder did that make? Obviously, not having that rear bumper on there. Obviously, with your downforce, especially in the wet, you need to try and keep the car as planted as you possibly can.
Well, I just had to be more careful. I mean, it didn't really change how I drove it. It just changed how I kind of was on the straights, because obviously I don't have that nice clean front bumper where the air can go into. It's just a mess, as you can see on the broadcast. So just try my best to keep the car down, and I think it worked.
I bet your engine temperatures were looking better though.
Yeah.
Did you find the racing was okay? Obviously, there was a lot of mess in the first race, but did you find that was more of the fault of the track, or would you say that's something that people can take away from today's race and look to improve for the next race where we might face some rain?
I think that's just the nature of like a lot of British tracks are like tight, and then if you mix that with rain, that means you've got like nowhere to go basically, and everyone's taking the same line, and if someone even goes half defensive, there's no way through. So it makes it challenging. So it's quite a bit the track, but then also I think there's a lot to learn as a driver to be able to like catch people out and take advantage on their mistakes.
100%, and we saw some really good racing from you towards the end of the second race as well, fighting your way all the way up to P2, past Thomas and Billy and everyone. So congratulations. If you just want to let anyone say thank you to or shout out, then feel free to do that.
Yeah, thank you to Thomas, because he didn't get mad at me when I tapped him a bit. We were on call together.
We appreciate some sportsmanship there, and yeah, you guys looked incredible out there. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
And we'll go to our leader of the pros who finished, our first place of the pros, Gabriel. He managed to do 2 incredible drives in both of his races, going back to front in both. Welcome, Gabriel. How was that? Well, those 2 races for you?
Yeah, they were pretty good. I mean, the first race I got punted off, but managed to claw my way back to second. And yeah, the second race just managed to work my way through, didn't get involved in any instance. And when Harry, I think, went off in front of me, I was just able to capitalise on that and take the lead.
100%.
Gabriel.
Now, quick question.
Go on.
Why the beans?
I was looking on the livery painters, and it just stood out to me. So I thought, I'll take that livery.
Do you know, I like the beans. I think you should ask Khaled to make a bean SimSpecMedia paint scheme for you.
Yeah.
I think we would love to see that. Anyway, through the first and second race, how did you? We'll leave the beans be. How did you? What was your strength in being able to get to both through the field in both races? Because you did it in both races. You went from last basically to P2 in the second race, and you then managed to claw your way through to win the second race. What was your secret? How did you do it?
I just felt like I'm quite decent in wet conditions, and so I was just able to kind of learn the lines a lot when I was on my own in the first race. And that just kind of allowed me to work my way through the pack quite quickly, because I was just able to take better lines and just carry a lot more speed than other people who were stuck battling or stuck behind someone else.
Yeah, we've seen that your lap times were pretty incredible. Obviously, this is your first race in the series, I believe. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously you'll get some good points from this. What's your plan to try and get to the top of that points lead if you could? Are you gonna run the rest of the season from now on out, or is there a couple of other drop weeks you'll need to take?
I think I'm just gonna try and get to every round. I mean, it just depends on if I'm busy in the evenings or anything. But yeah, I mean, just keep on winning races hopefully, and then I'll be able to just claw my way up quite quickly, hopefully.
Well, you'll have some good competition with the Andrews brothers, which were not there today. They both drive the Mustangs. You obviously drive the BMW. We've not had a lot of BMWs, so it's nice and refreshing to see one, even if it is covered in beans. If you want to give anyone a bit of a shout out or say thank you to, feel free to, and then we'll tidy up and finish up.
Yeah, everyone who's watching this, even though it was on quite short notice, because I only told them about 12 o'clock today. But yeah, it's nice that a lot of people who I know are watching, so thank you to them.
Oh, nice. Who have you got watching? Is it family, friends?
A lot of family, I think. I'm not sure if any of my friends are watching, but that's all right. Don't really tell them about it.
Oh, well, I'm sure they were cheering you on as you were taking that bean car to victory lane. Thank you so much for joining us. And yeah, hopefully we'll see you again next week.
Yeah, thank you.
And that brings us to the end of our broadcast. We've done our interviews. We've done what we needed to. All is left for us to do is say our thank yous and goodbyes and point you to the next event of the schedule, which I'm sure my colleague Khaled will do an excellent job with. Anyway, thanks for me for watching. We've been your hosts, me and Sol, and I'm sure Sol will say his goodbyes as well.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed the racing as much as we have. It was a very exciting first race to a very interesting second race. But have a lovely evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you guys are. I wish you the best. Thank you very much for myself.
And Not much I can add to some rather good outros. Only thing really on my mind would be to share what's coming up here on SimSpecMedia. Obviously, we've just now covered the fantastic double heat of Snetterton, and as mentioned at the start of the broadcast, we have got a jam-packed weekend of F4 Silverstone action, the GT3 finale at Road Atlanta in the SimSpecMedia Championship to decide the Pro-Am, and Am categories, and as well the penultimate round in the GRL Jeddah Championship at Hockenheim, which, yeah, I'm pretty sure the Jettas would make any race anywhere look pretty good, probably even centripetal. So it's all here on SimSpecMedia. Before we return next week to Brands Hatch for some more PSRL action, and that would be kicking off our second half of the league proper. We've managed to survive this insane race and insane rain in both in the car and here in the broadcast comms booth. And yeah, I've been your host and producer, Kyle Ramadan, joined by Max Ring and Sol, who's been very nice to join at such short notice. Such short notice that I've not been able to add them into the comms card. But indeed, that is all from us. And we shall be around for whichever